I have had this slipping sensation when walking for the last 9 months. No pain whatsoever, but very irritating. Normal when sitting or lying down. I'm on KEPPRA, TOPAMAX and EPILIM. Could this slipping sensation be some sort of side effect of any of these medicines? I'm not sure what you mean by slipping sensation, but your meds can affect your sense of balance if that is what you mean. Levels can be checked. The levels are okay. Balance is also okay. By slipping sensation I mean like walking barefoot on wet tiles. That sort of slipping. Except I get this sensation when I'm wearing socks and shoes. I feel my feet are wet when in fact they're bone dry. You have an extensive negative workup. Did they get a B12 level? By saying all tests were negative I meant all tests were okay, and yes, even the B12 level was okay. I think you need to have a second opinion from a neurologist then. This could be early MS that just isn't showing up yet on the MRI, and a lumbar puncture might be considered. Our neurologist assured us it's not. Miss, what's a lumbar puncture? Is it something to do with the vertebrae? By the way, we have also consulted a psychiatrist. He concluded that it's OCD. What do you think? A lumbar puncture is when they put a needle in the spinal canal and draw out fluid. It's the definitive test for Miss, better than an MRI. It is possible that anxiety could cause this imbalance, but I have never heard of OCD causing this. If you are anxious, then anti-anxiety meds would help. OCD is not a cause of imbalance. It's not imbalance I suffer from. It's only a sensation. Everything else is okay. Re-OCD viva vis anxiety. I was put on dean shit. No dice. A local GP suggested walking exercises with the hope of overcoming this sensation. So far still the same. Isn't there anybody out there who can help me? I would suggest physical therapy. You have had an extensive workup that's been negative.
What type of physical therapy do you suggest?
Gait training.
Doesn't that mean walking exercises?
Basically, yes.
Well.
Hi, I have read the discussion between you and the other doctor, and I would like to add that OCD is a valid answer to your problem, since, as you said, all other possibilities have been ruled out. And though remote possibility, I think considering epilepsy should also be considered. Please feel free to ask any queries about the answer. Regards. Our neurologist has assured us that this condition has nothing to do with epilepsy, and I have had EEG tests several times in the last 30 years. All negative. That's how long I have been suffering from epileptic fits, which are more or less controlled. Since you think that OCD is a valid answer, what do you suggest I should do? I mean, how should I tackle it? Hi. Medical therapy with selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors may be helpful. Though first-line therapy is behavior therapy with a competent psychotherapist. More recently, exposure and response, or ritual prevention, ERP, is the important and specific core element in behavior therapy for OCD. The patient is systematically exposed to symptom triggers of gradually increasing intensity, while the patient is to suppress his or her usual ritualized response. This is generally challenging and often quite distressing for the patient, but when effectively done, promotes unlearning of the strong link that has existed between having an urge and giving in to the urge. Please feel free to ask any queries about answer. Regards. This ERP makes a lot of sense to me. The problem is that I haven't figured out yet what triggered this OCD in the first place. Remember that I have had this condition for the last 9 months and I simply cannot remember what brought it on. What I mean is that I cannot be systematically exposed to symptom triggers if I don't know what triggered this OCD. Will a competent psychotherapist be able to find out? I have no experience at all with psychotherapists. Hi, surely a competent psychotherapist will be able to work out the trigger. It should not be your concern. Psychotherapy is a very conservative way of management and is nothing to be afraid of, and surely psychotherapists are trained to be good listeners and very helpful. You can discuss all your concerns before and during treatment. Please feel free to ask any queries about the answer. Regards. One last question. Before consulting a psychotherapist, do you think that if I persist in doing long walks and at the same time try to shake off, mentally, this sensation, will help? Can you suggest some sort of therapy which I can do on my own? Okay. So it's 2 questions actually. Hi, surely you have come up with a brilliant idea, if you can do this with ease and effect. The same a behavior therapist is going to do under his or her supervision. The theme is to make yourself believe that this feeling of yours is wrong. As you already said, this is just a feeling and is not a physical problem. This is the only way to overcome this, or if you find it difficult to deal with, consult the psychotherapist. Please feel free to ask any queries about the answer. I hope the answer was helpful. Regards.
If you have a health question and want to chat with a doctor now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHealth.